उम्र भर जज ही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पर थी, आईना साफ करता रहा. Justice is supposed to be blind, not judges. Do they not see the rampant corruption in Indian judiciary? Bags of cash is found in a judge's home, and what steps are taken? An in-house probe, a nudge and a rap on the knuckles with a feather, a one-way ticket to another city court. No FIR, no investigation of a clear criminal act by forensic and investigative agencies. The judicial system is broke. Let me explain by elaborating on three broad themes. Number one, more than 54 million cases are pending in Indian courts. That's more than the population of South Korea or Kenya. And at the current pace, it would take us 323 years to clear the backlog. Worse, out of these, 182,000 cases are as old as 30 years. And as many as 2.5 lakh pending cases are of rape and child sex offences. India has just 20 judges per million population, same as sub-Saharan Africa. America has 150. Only 12% judges have publicly declared their assets. 32% of High Court and 21% of judicial positions overall are lying vacant. 76% of all prisoners are under trials, rotting in jails. The wheels of justice aren't just grinding slowly, they've come to a halt. As I said, the entire judicial system is broke, and one of the primary reasons, I'm afraid, is judicial appointments. This system where judges appoint judges needs a serious looking into, overhaul. Around 50% of High Court judges and 33% of Supreme Court judges are related to senior judicial members. Only 250 families have ever sent judges to the Supreme Court. Conflict of interest is rife. At one point of time, 34% of the judges of a high court had relatives working as lawyers and others in the same place. Supreme Court judges have said there is corruption in higher judiciary, and yet no one but the judiciary through Article 235 as well as a 1997 declaration can investigate judicial corruption. Number two, now let me come to the actual cases of judicial corruption. 1,631 complaints about judicial corruption were received between 2017 and 21. And forwarded to Chief Justice of India or High Court's Chief Justices. But it's not just that. One of the earliest high-profile cases involved Justice V. Ramaswamy of the Supreme Court of India in 1993. He was accused of financial irregularities and misuse of public funds, including lavish spending on furniture and travel. A parliamentary inquiry committee found him guilty, but the impeachment motion ultimately failed in the Lok Sabha due to insufficient majority support. A decade later, in 2003, Justice Shamit Mukherjee of the Delhi High Court faced allegations of accepting bribes to influence decisions in a DDA scam. The CBI arrested him, charged him under the Prevention of Corruption Act, conducted raids that uncovered further evidence. What happened? In 2011, Justice Soumitra Sen of the Calcutta High Court was implicated in a misappropriation of funds case, having embezzled 32 lakhs while serving as a court-appointed receiver. A judicial committee confirmed his guilt, leading to his resignation just before full impeachment proceedings. That same year, Justice P.D. Dinakaran, the Chief Justice of the Sikkim High Court and formerly of the Karnataka High Court, faced 16 charges including corruption, land grabbing, disproportionate assets. He resigned amid impeachment proceedings initiated in Parliament. In 2014, Judge P.D. Inamdar was caught on camera discussing monetary settlements for favourable orders. The Gujarat High Court suspended him, sent him to judicial custody. In 2015, Judge A.D. Acharya was filmed negotiating bribes for judicial favours. He was booked under the Prevention of Corruption Act. In 2016, Judge Rachna Tiwari Lakhanpal of the Punjab and Haryana High Court was accused of accepting a 4 lakh bribe and possessing 94 lakhs in unaccounted cash. The CBI arrested her. And as we will know, in 2025, Justice Yashwant Verma of the Delhi High Court was found in possession of large unaccounted cash discovered during a residence fire. The Supreme Court transferred him to the Allahabad High Court. But beyond these individual cases, broader scandals, they amplify concerns about endemic corruption. Whom are you trying to hoodwink? The 2008 Ghaziabad Provident Fund scam implicated as many as 36 judges from district to high court levels, leading to en masse retirements and removals. Transparency International report once indicated that 45% of Indians perceive the judiciary as corrupt. 3. Finally, several current and former judges, including chief justices, have publicly acknowledged or accused corruption within the Indian judiciary. Justice E.S. Venkataramaiah, ex-CJI, said judicial standards deteriorated due to judges influenced by, quote, lavish parties and whiskey bottles, unquote. Estimated 90 corrupt judges across high courts. Justice S.P. Bharucha, ex-CJI, lamented that 20% of judges in India were corrupt. 20%. Justice Michael Saldhana, Karnataka High Court, stated 33% of the judiciary is corrupt. Justice Markande Karju, ex-Supreme Court judge, alleged 3 ex-CJIs compromised on extensions due to political pressure. He accused the judiciary of protecting its own corrupt members. Justice J. Chelameshwar, Supreme Court, admitted, quote, corruption does exist, unquote. He cited arrests like ex-Judge Kudusi, warned of political influence on judges during a press conference, no less. Justice M.N. Venkatachalaya, ex-CJI, said some judges, quote, turn out corrupt, criticized CJIs giving room for doubts about integrity. Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer, ex-Supreme Court, called judiciary, quote, itself corrupt, sought probes against suspect Supreme Court judges, said no corrupt judge has ever been punished. And Justice J.S. Verma, ex-CJI, he admitted the fact that, quote, there has not been a single corrupt judge even in the Supreme Court. This statement is false. He said the rot runs deep. Justice A.K. Ganguly, ex-Supreme Court, expressed sorrow over judges accused of corruption, linked it to broader anti-corruption efforts that must be extended. Justice Ruma Paul, ex-Supreme Court, slammed higher judiciary for, quote, 7 sins including corruption and deviation from standards. Justice C.S. Karnan, ex-Madras High Court, accused 33 judges, 14 Supreme Court, 19 High Court of corruption, urged Prime Minister to investigate. Justice Ranjan Gogoi, ex-CJI, said, quote, corruption has become a way of life in society, including judiciary. Judges, quote, don't drop from heaven. Justice B.R. Gawai, the Chief Justice, acknowledged, quote, instances of corruption and misconduct negatively impact public confidence. Justice Madan B. Lokur, ex-Supreme Court judge, discussed corruption in higher judiciary, effectiveness of in-house inquiries. Justice Banerjee, ex-High Court Chief Justice, acknowledged corruption exists, estimated 20% in higher judiciary. So there we have it. Instead of acknowledging these facts, the Supreme Court, egged on by some senior advocates, helped by a spineless government, have brought down the gavel on the head of the poor man who wrote the NCERT textbook. What more proof do you want that we are a banana republic? The Supreme Court may have extracted a groveling apology from a scared NCERT, but it forgets you can run milords, but you can't hide.